Ben stepped into the cool, dimly lit educational center at the zoo, his eyes wide with curiosity. The 7-year-old boy with light brown skin and neatly combed black hair adjusted his glasses as he looked around. His red t-shirt and khaki shorts rustled as he moved, taking in the colorful displays and interactive exhibits. The air smelled faintly of disinfectant and the murmur of other visitors filled the space. A tall woman with curly blonde hair and bright green eyes approached Ben. She wore a khaki uniform with the zoo's logo embroidered on the pocket and a name tag. Sarah smiled warmly at Ben and said, "Welcome to our endangered species exhibit. Are you here to learn about animals that need our help?" Ben nodded eagerly, his glasses sliding down his nose a bit. "Yes, I am," he replied, pushing his glasses back up. "I love animals, and I want to know how I can help them." Sarah's smile widened as she gestured for Ben to follow her. They walked past displays of stuffed animals and detailed dioramas showing various habitats. As they stopped in front of a large screen showing a video of pandas munching on bamboo, Sarah asked, "Do you know what endangered means, Ben?" Ben furrowed his brow, thinking hard. "I think it means the animals are in danger, right?" he answered hesitantly. Sarah nodded encouragingly, her green eyes twinkling. "That's right, Ben," Sarah explained. "Endangered species are animals that are at risk of becoming extinct. That means there might not be any left in the wild if we don't help them." Ben's brown eyes widened behind his glasses as he processed this information. The seriousness of the situation began to sink in. Sarah led Ben to an interactive display with a map of the world. Different animals were represented by small figurines placed on various continents. "Let's look at some examples of endangered animals," Sarah suggested. She pointed to a small rhinoceros figurine in Africa. "This is the black rhino. Can you guess why it's endangered?" Ben thought for a moment, his fingers fidgeting with the hem of his red t-shirt. "Is it because people are hurting them?" he asked softly. Sarah nodded solemnly. "Unfortunately, you're right. Poachers hunt rhinos for their horns, which some people believe have medicinal properties. But this isn't true, and it's putting rhinos in grave danger." Moving to another part of the map, Sarah pointed out a tiger figurine in Asia. "This is the Sumatran tiger," she explained. "They're losing their homes because people are cutting down the forests where they live." Ben's face fell as he imagined the beautiful tigers with nowhere to go. He felt a lump forming in his throat. Sarah noticed Ben's distress and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "It's okay to feel sad, Ben. These are serious problems. But the good news is that there are people working hard to help these animals." She guided him to another display showing conservation efforts around the world. The new display featured photographs of people planting trees, setting up protected areas, and caring for injured animals. Ben's eyes lit up as he saw these positive images. "Can kids like me help too?" he asked eagerly. Sarah smiled brightly, her green eyes crinkling at the corners. "Absolutely. There are many ways kids can make a difference." Sarah led Ben to a small table with coloring sheets and crayons. "One way to help is by spreading awareness," she explained. "You can color these pictures of endangered animals and share them with your friends and family. Tell them about what you've learned today." Ben sat down and began coloring a picture of a sea turtle, his tongue sticking out slightly in concentration. As Ben colored, Sarah continued to explain more ways kids could help. "You can also ask your parents to donate to conservation organizations, or even start a fundraiser at your school," she suggested. Ben nodded enthusiastically, his mind already racing with ideas. He imagined organizing a bake sale or a car wash to raise money for endangered animals. Sarah picked up a small booklet from the table and handed it to Ben. "This guide has more information about endangered species and what you can do to help," she said. "It also has a list of books you can read to learn more." Ben took the booklet carefully, treating it like a precious treasure. He tucked it into his back pocket, eager to read it later. As they walked through the rest of the exhibit, Ben saw displays about habitat loss, climate change, and pollution. Each one made him feel more determined to make a difference. He stopped in front of a large poster showing a beautiful coral reef. "What's happening to the ocean?" he asked, noticing the concerned look on Sarah's face. Sarah knelt down beside Ben, her blonde curls bouncing slightly. "The ocean is facing many challenges," she explained gently. "Climate change is making the water warmer, which can harm coral reefs. Pollution, especially plastic, is also a big problem for marine life." Ben's brown eyes widened in concern as he imagined fish swimming through water filled with plastic bags and bottles. "But there's hope," Sarah continued, pointing to another part of the display. "Scientists are working on ways to restore coral reefs, and many countries are banning single-use plastics." Ben nodded, feeling a mix of worry and determination. He decided right then that he would never use plastic straws again and would always recycle. As they neared the end of the exhibit, Sarah showed Ben a wall covered in handprints. Each one had a promise written on it, like "I will use reusable bags" or "I will turn off lights when I leave a room." Sarah handed Ben a small pot of washable paint. "Would you like to make a promise to help endangered species?" she asked. Ben dipped his hand in the paint and pressed it carefully against the wall. With Sarah's help, he wrote beneath his handprint, "I promise to tell everyone about endangered animals and how to help them." He stepped back, admiring his contribution with a sense of pride. His painted handprint stood out, a bright blue against the white wall. As they walked towards the exit, Sarah praised Ben for his enthusiasm and willingness to learn. "You've taken the first step in becoming a wildlife champion, Ben," she said warmly. "Remember, every small action counts. Even if it seems tiny, it can make a big difference when many people do it together." Ben nodded solemnly, his glasses slipping down his nose again. He pushed them back up and looked at Sarah with determination in his brown eyes. "I'm going to do everything I can to help," he declared. "I'll tell all my friends at school about what I learned today. Maybe we can even start a club to help endangered animals." As Ben left the educational center, clutching his booklet and with dry paint still on his hand, he felt different. The world seemed bigger now, full of both challenges and possibilities. He knew that the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but he was ready to do his part. With each step, Ben's resolve grew stronger. He was no longer just a 7-year-old boy who loved animals. He was now a budding conservationist, ready to make a difference in the world.